So I asked the question, like, what is it that you were really looking for in that moment that basically you feel led you to that kind of relationship? Someone said, I wanted to be seen. Someone said, I wanted to be noticed and purposeful. Someone said, I wanted him to fit into this idea I had of him, be understood, safety, to be seen. Everybody who's listening out there, I want you to do this exercise with me. This is a healing and a constructive exercise to you, healing and moving past these patterns. Take a fucking pen and take a book. I don't have a book, but take a book, and I want you to keep this with you right now. I'm going to give you 10 seconds. When you've got that book, say yes, and I'm going to tell you what you're going to do with this. You're going to write down and you're going to do an exercise that's going to help you in your first step of working through and working past these kinds of relationships. So when you have a book, let me know. Okay, I'm just going to assume people have said yes because I'm not very patient at this point. I love you guys. Whatever you wrote, right? I want you to write the question as, what is it that I was seeking so much that led me to this relationship? And whatever your answer is, just below that. So like I said, some of you said to be seen, some of you said to be validated, some of you said to be loved, some of you said to feel important. Like, he's taking me to meet his family on like fucking week number 1. He must be such an amazing guy. I feel so amazing and important to him. That's why he's taking me to meet his family. So whatever it is, write it down there on that sheet. Now, the next thing I want to tell you, whatever it is, and this is the step of healing, and we're going to go with Caitlin to ask her what she did to work through this relationship, but I want to give you guys this opportunity and moment to heal from these relationships. Your reason. So this circle, that thing is reason for me having got into this relationship. To be seen, to be validated, to want to be heard, to feel important, to be recognized, to be whatever it is. Circle that. I'm going to ask you a really fucking tough question that I want you guys to be honest about. Caitlin's already smiling because she knows I love the tough questions. I want you guys to be really honest about this. I don't want you to just say it as if because trust me, I've worked with thousands of people across the world in therapy, so I'll know what your real answer is. Have you done the work to really give that to yourself before? I want you guys to answer that. Some of you said, I want to be validated. I want to be important. I want to be seen. I want to be recognized. I want to be taken care of. Have you ever done those things truly for yourself before, consistently? I want you to throw that in the chat. And I want you to tell me, because I can tell you, whenever I fell for something like that, it was in moments in my life where I wasn't taking care of myself to the best. I wasn't validating my own self to realize I am fucking important. I wasn't treating myself as being important, and instead I wanted other people to do that for me. This is what I love about this fucking group. All of you guys are empowered by being honest. You're not trying to throw out bullshit and like just lie your way through this and be like, of course I did it. Yeah, it's like, fuck you. This shit makes no sense. You are actually finding out the reasons why these relationships show up in your life. And I love you guys for being so honest. People said, no, I was a people pleaser. I start and I don't say consistent. Beautiful. Thank you for being honest about it. Someone said, no, nope. I can tell you in the years I've done this work and that I've taught so many people this, is that anytime they get sucked into those relationships that are dysfunctional, that are not helpful and supportive of you, always at that period of time, they are not showing up for themselves in the best place that they can. Not consistently enough, not with enough love and support and healing. And I don't want you to blame yourself for it. I just want you to be aware about it. Why? Because now we move on to the next step of healing. Okay, yes, now I'm aware that I wasn't doing that for myself at that time. Therefore, I attracted that relationship, which means if I do start learning to do this for myself now, will I repeat the same thing? No, because if I am giving myself the same things, why the fuck would I want it from a source that's so manipulative, that's so toxic, that's so dysfunctional? I wouldn't, because I'm so used to giving it to myself now. You guys want to know why I literally have been able to create this page and like work on this thing and teach people, like thousands of people across the world, do retreats everywhere? It's because of that reason. I learned to give myself the very same things that I was desperately seeking from other people outside. I learned to understand what love was like coming from within. So then I had very high standards for other people who came into my life. So now I want you guys, so whoever's written it down, and I'll come to you in a second, Caitlin. I'm so sorry to leave you just sitting there while I'm going on this fucking rant. But it is not easy for sure. But you have to, someone said it's not that easy, but you have to start. And the better you get, if right now I wanted you to go run a fucking 42K, oh, you guys do miles, right? 21-mile marathon. You'd be like, that's not fucking easy, man. You nuts. That's crazy. I would never be able to do it. You'd run half a mile and you'd be dead. But what if you started slowly every fucking day? What if you were disciplined about your commitment to this marathon? What if you gave yourself 6 months? So you didn't every, like, you know, and here's another lesson. You gave yourself 6 months. So when it comes to week number 3, you don't suddenly say, oh, I want to go run a marathon. I'm going to run it. And then you die again. You don't. You consistently go slowly. So in the same way, you give yourself a period of time where you say, I'm going to go through this healing. I'm going to commit to myself. So if a relationship comes along that's tempting, you don't just jump back into it. You say, no, now's the time for me to commit to myself and give myself the very same thing I'm wanting from other people. You do that long enough, and I promise you, you will repel any dysfunctional pattern that comes your way. So now, Caitlin, finally back to you. Are you awake still after I went on that big fucking rant? Yes, thank you. I love you. I appreciate you. I want to ask you, how was it, coming back to this conversation, what was it that finally made you want to leave that relationship? What was that final fucking straw? What was that last, like, what was that last fucking piece that just did it for you?
I finally saw the pattern. So there was a lot of times as part of the controlling and manipulation, he said a ton of awful things, but it was just like that. I want you to do a little better. And he said it from like a loving place of, I see the potential in you. I want to help you grow. Here's ways you can prove you can do X, Y, and Z better. Right. And I just took that in so much. I was like, okay, I want to do this. I want to do these things right. And so I do them, like, there's some tasking, like I do something, it was wrong. I was like, okay, he gave me the feedback. Let me like jot this down, mental note. I don't want to screw this up again. I want to get it right. And I'd have another opportunity and I'd make sure that it was perfect. And something else was wrong. And that happened 2 or 3 times. And it finally hit me. I was like, oh my God, I'm never going to be able to win. No matter what I do, I will always be doing something wrong in his eyes. Yeah. And I just kind of gave up. I was like, wow. If I can't win at this game. And I started testing that theory. I was like, well, if it's only wrong because I'm not doing it his way, can I still do something my way and see what his reaction is? And so I started doing that a little bit to test my theory. I was like, that was kind of the gaslighting. I was like, is this an on-purpose thing? So I'd start doing it my way. And even if it was done correctly, but it wasn't his way, I'd get like scolding and reprimanded for it. Of course. And so I figured out that was the thing. I was like, well, once I can't win and it was that, it became a lot easier to be like, fuck you. I'm out. This is nonsense. You have been lying to me the whole time.
But would you say it was a combination of 2 things? And that at the first, your desire to keep trying getting it right was an element of people pleasing, where you subconsciously wanted that level of approval from him to say, yes, my darling, you finally got it right. And so you're willing to keep wanting to prove yourself?
I wouldn't have said it that way. I probably would have looked at it from like a personal growth thing. It's like, oh, if he's giving me feedback, here's something I can do to get better. And it wasn't, I wouldn't have consciously said I'm doing this for him. I probably would have said I'm doing this for me. But it was like, here's an opportunity I can grow.
Right, but that's the point, is that consciously on the surface, obviously we would say, like, I don't want to keep trying to please someone or prove myself to someone. I'm doing this because I know it's going to reflect upon myself. I'm going to grow. I'm going to achieve these things. I'm going to be like X, Y, Z. But subconsciously, which is where the ego really works from, where we're still trying to earn that level of love, do you think at that place, from that point, you were trying to do it continuously? Because if you said that I was doing it just for my own growth, right? Why would it matter whether he was the one who approved of it or not? Why would it matter if he's the one who provided the stamp or not? There's a reason you wanted his stamp of approval. Does that make sense?
Yeah, it would have been for approval.
So do you think then at that point that deep down inside there was this wound that wanted this unconscious authority figure's like approval, saying, yes, you finally done it right?
Yeah.
Right?
Hey, and welcome to the Inner Yats YouTube page. If you like our content, make sure you click the like and the subscribe button so that you get more of these amazing videos that keep coming your way.